I'm team made of weather. Truly, I'm sorry, I am.
Well, he is a damn good fighter.
And he's hot. And he's living the life.
He's also egotistical.
Super charming. Charming.
All right, you got a show to do. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, welcome to it. It is the Ace Micheals Show, and I'm happy to be with you, as much happy as you are to be with me. You clearly want to be here because that's where you're at. If you ever want to be on the show, you can. All you have to do is just give us a call. You can call 702-540-3498. That will give you the opportunity to voice your opinions, convictions, ideas, beliefs, confessions, dreams, goals, aspirations, inspirations. The number is 702-540-3498, or you can email us. You can email us beyondthebuzz@yahoo.com. Today, I have two beautiful ladies, clearly, and I'm going to let them tell their story. I'm not going to say nothing except a few things. I'm clearly distracted, and I'm going to let them do their thing. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It is my pleasure.
I love the buzz. Next time we need to get buzzed on the show.
We do. We should have been buzzed when we walked in.
Some might say you're buzzed now. No. So clearly, Tiffany Masters, we know you from before. You've done the show, and you are well known for doing shows. People know you. You say, "Hey, Tiffany Masters," and they go, "You mean that girl from the shows?" "Yeah, I know Tiffany Masters. She's the one doing shows all the time." But you have another beautiful blonde here today that we don't know from the shows.
No.
So tell us a bit about who you are and what is your story.
Well, this is one of my best friends. She's recently been in the wedding that I just had, but I've known her since
she's been in the
Palms
wedding.
opening.
I love it. She's been in the wedding.
I was one of the bridesmaids.
Yeah, she's one of the bridesmaids of the
Nice.
wedding. But I've known her for a long time. We have a lot of personal history that dates back to when she was married to Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Which we've all done that.
And we've all had a wrong story.
We've all been married to Vince.
Michael, is there something
at least
We've all
once.
been with Vince Neil.
Yeah.
No, we all haven't. No, I was
What happened
I was
with
friends
us?
with her back when they were at the Palms a lot.
Yes.
And that's how we had met.
Yes.
And then our relationship got a lot closer when you used
After
to work.
my divorce.
Yeah, and you used to work
It
for a
always
plastic
happens
surgeon.
after
I did.
divorce.
I worked for plastic surgeons. And yes, and we have a great friendship that's kind of endured time and travel and space. And no matter how much time passes, and I don't see her often, we always just connect whenever we see each other. So it's a blessed friendship without a lot of effort, but a lot of heart and a lot of love between us.
So I had called her, God, what is it, 6 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Yeah, 6 years ago I was getting a new boob job. And I had called her and I said, I'm going into surgery. And do you remember what you said to me?
Well, I just told her that, you should have a mammogram regardless of surgery or not, every few years.
And
Actually,
I said,
every
no,
year.
I'm not
Actually,
40.
every year.
Do you remember I argued with you?
Right.
I'm like, I'm not 40 yet.
And I told her, just as precautionary, every woman should go through a mammogram. And I kind of really laid into that, and she eventually had one.
Yeah, it was 3 days later. I went in for a mammogram because she said she was in fear that when I went into the surgery that they could find a lump and then charge me thousands and thousands of dollars extra to have this reduction done, saying that they would find a friend.
Was there some reason you didn't want to do the mammogram? Did you have
It was extra money. It was extra, if you're under 40 at the time, insurance didn't cover it.
Okay.
I didn't feel a real need to go have one because we were taught you don't need to have mammograms until
And
a certain age.
I'm sure she was doing self-exams, as we all do, but
Yeah, but you never kind of know
Yeah,
because I
there's
have
those
I have
underlying-
implants, so you know, they're supposed to say make out with yourself in the shower every day. I'm like, you know, like so wax on, wax off. You don't quite get it. You don't know what you're feeling, you know, like unless it's a hard nipple and a big implant, you're like, you don't really know what's going on.
And it's not nearly as exciting as a prostate exam. So you lose great deals of respect for yourself.
Can you imagine if we had to ask men to give themselves a prostate exam?
Wow. So anyway, she found something that was...
Well, I went in there. I had my titties do a little photo shoot. And they said, can you stay a little bit longer? And I said, no, I actually need to get home.
Yeah, that's never a good, like, what do I need,
I know,
what do you need
right?
to stay for, dog? What's going on?
Like,
Unless the doctor's really good looking.
Right. I got to go.
I had groceries in the car. I'm like, no, because I had my surgery scheduled for 2 days later. And they said, we need to do some more. And I thought they were upselling me. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, right.
know.
Like it's a Cadillac dealership. They're like, we need to have you talk to the sales manager. Hold on one second. What's your credit score right now? And he'll be out in a second. Anyway, so you.
So after having my boobs pressed down like a pancake and do those, then I had to go into a room and they had me lay down and do more of an extensive, I'm not sure what, some kind of exam.
This was 6 years ago, or this was recently?
This was 6 years ago.
Okay, so this is... Which
just shows you how a booger can turn into, Mount St. Helen here. I unfortunately had a lump in my breast, my right one, that was growing tentacles to my lymph node.
Oh, good.
Now, 3 months prior to that, I was doing photo shoots for major magazines, and this is not something that you want to hear in your career. That
right,
hey,
you may have. Did they say you had cancer, breast cancer, or?
Well, this is what the doctor said.
So they did a biopsy.
Yeah, well, my surgeon that was doing my reduction said, take it now, ask questions later. So I had a partial mastectomy done immediately. Leah's like, take it all now and then have it tested. And so, because they were plumping them up on one side anyway, right? So that's what happened. And thank God, considering that my grandmother had breast cancer.
Right, she had a history, so.
I had a big history.
Long history.
And so are you the case where they say if you catch it early, you're able to take care of it? And that
we will never know.
No, we know. I mean, we know.
It was kind of a godsend that
you said, get this done or you could get ripped off. And it was just, I believe, a matter of time since so many women in my family have gone through that, unfortunately. And I have recently, when they found that I had, my husband and I were trying to conceive, and what I thought was little baby there, we found out were tumors. Well, we didn't ask any questions then.
Right.
Yeah,
Take it now, ask questions later. And, very young, but had a total hysterectomy. You just don't know.
Right. That's right.
So, which brings us to this topic of, have you done that 23andMe?
On a lighter topic.
I know.
On a lighter topic.
Wait, before we go lighter, we barely have touched on this. So now, Leah, you also have the Tiggo bitties. What's your status? Have you had any issues?
I have mammographies every year. And totally clean.
That's such a beautiful word, mammography.
Yeah.
I know. I was transfixed on that too. I was thinking it was just me because I knew I could rewind the tape later. So I was like, wow, mammography.
Mammography.
That's like the sexiest thing you said since you've been here.
Absolutely no breast to begin with. And I worked for amazing plastic surgeons in Northern California. And I go in every year for my mammogram, and thank God, nothing. I don't have a history of it that I know of. I was adopted, which will bring us up to our next subject.
Which we're trying to get to.
Yes.
Apparently, you guys want to get to that. But before
but there are a lot.
that,
It all connects at the
it's
end.
all connected. Okay.
There's a lot of celebrities that take the precautionary route,
Right.
like Angelina Jolie.
Absolutely, we should bring her up.
Right.
You know, she did
And
a
others.
full mastectomy
Right.
to
Which is
prevent that for her
huge,
children.
Very brave.
So let's pretend I'm interviewing, right? I would ask you next then, why, as a woman, would you even take the risk of the breast implants when you know it could be potentially a problem?
It couldn't be.
It could or couldn't.
It couldn't. I mean, you might have that hormone in you. You might have that genetic.
And if you have the opportunity to
Composition.
take it, why
And
gamble on
having
it?
implants is no more risk of developing breast cancer than somebody who doesn't have them. If
Right.
you're genetically inclined to have that gene.
I'm ignorant of it. I'll tell you honestly, I'm
yeah.
completely ignorant.
If
Like, I don't even know.
breast implants do not cause cancer or tumors. If you're genetically prone to that, and that's something that you have, it's going to come regardless of whether you have an implant or not.
So does the implant make more probability for you
No.
to get? No,
Not at
not
all.
at all.
Not at all.
What really helped me with doing this is I had a partial mastectomy. So when he went in, I actually have more cc's on one side than I do on the other.
But
CC's with saline?
Yes.
right,
Okay.
but
I'm just
typically
making that up.
with any woman, everybody's kind of out of balance on both
Anyway,
sides.
right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
so.
When boobies.
Not my woman. Let's keep that clear.
It's to a teaspoon.
Right here, right. I don't be dating no lopsided women.
They're
Just
all
keep
one
that
breast
real.
is larger than the other,
Yeah,
just
right.
like you're right-handed or left-handed.
Right.
It's just
That's
the
a
way
whole
it
nother
goes.
show.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. Okay, so then you two ladies had breasts in common, right?
Yes.
And then you also had friendship in common, and now it sounds
We
like
actually had friendship before breast.
you had
common,
friendship
I think.
before
Yeah.
breasts.
Yeah.
But because of her, I was able to
Well, I was
find
on her
that
to get a
issue.
mammogram because she had not had one, and I was kept telling her like, get it, especially women that are over 40, like you just need it.
Yeah.
And
And
I
every
wanted,
woman
there's
should have
another
one.
waitress, I won't say what nightclub, that has recently gone through breast cancer. So I'd like to share this awareness. It's never too early to get a mammogram. And my friend Tommy and Nini with Alma Tequila, shout out to you, they said we should do a yearly mammograms, or should I say mammography and margarita party.
Yeah, everything's
A
gonna be
mammography
in
and
this
margarita
case. Yeah,
party.
Exactly.
We should do mammography
Once
and
a
margarita.
year.
A Mamo Margot party.
Or mimosa.
Or mimosas and margarita. Well, they're
Yeah.
a tequila company, so it was like,
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
You know, that's actually a good name for like a
Right?
black girl. Mammography. Like, what's your name, sweetheart? My name is Mammography Williams. Nice. Okay, so you two became friends, and then now bring us up to speed.
Oh,
Yes.
Now,
reckoning.
something about
The
ancest-
23andMe.
The 23andMe, yeah.
Okay, so another
I
like
was
friend
adopted.
of ours. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
and
adopted.
I was
You
adopted
were
at
adopted by
My parents.
Spider-Man, Superman.
No,
Like you
my
gotta tell.
parents.
Okay, your parents.
So I was adopted at birth. I had the most incredible parents ever. Raised in an Italian household and had all the love. I never felt that I was never a part of my family. Did I look different? Absolutely.
Well, of course.
But the love was always
That's the
there.
beauty of
So
it.
I
That's
just
awesome.
yeah, but I never felt like I wasn't part of my family. But I knew that I was different from my family.
Okay.
So at some point down the road, I was told that I was adopted, and then I had met my birth mother. It was a private adoption, but I went on kind of a journey. Found her, but I kind of
Tiffany's not gonna be your birth mom at the end
No.
of the story.
At the end of the show, I'm
That's
I'm
my
like,
daughter.
whoa.
That is my
But
daughter.
we do have some news for
Freaky
you.
man, freaky.
That is my daughter.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry.
No, but long story short, so I met my birth mother and learned some of my ethnicity, etc. But a dear friend of mine sent me for my birthday a couple years ago a 23andMe kit. And I did a little swab test to find out genetically exactly like where I come from and who I am.
Where you spit in a tube,
do a little, yeah.
and you have to get enough saliva to hit a certain
Tiffany is one to give us the graphic. I love it.
Right?
She's like,
It's the writer
this is
in
how
me.
it works. People use
So you just spit in there.
in a
It's not
tube.
like a swab. It's not like an
Yeah,
earwax
don't
thing.
think it's some kind of cool looking.
You have to,
glamorous
first thing in the
It's
morning
not that.
before you eat or drink, you have to
Yeah.
spit in this tube and send it away and wait for 6 weeks.
But the
Exactly.
results are incredible.
Yes, it can tell you if you have an onset for different things like Alzheimer's or different types of
Mhm.
diseases,
It doesn't
which we were
just-
talking about,
right.
like the cancer. But we found out our genetic history. Now, why I keep going back to the wedding is I've always had this thing for Brits, the British, the Irish, which brings us back to this fight. Robin Leach walked me down the aisle, a very best friend of the both of us.
Yes, a dear
I've had this thing about British men. I married one. All of that.
Maybe you're a queen. Did you ever?
You have no idea. I am so excited. I am 99.8% British Irish. Yes, I am.
She is.
I get it. I get it.
I
She
am.
deserves the crown.
Oh,
I can see
and
that.
speaking of that, so my mom's a genealogist, and I'm so excited to hear about these castles and everything that she's traced, over in Europe. I am so excited. Now, and you are, and I'll get to the punchline at the very end of
I'm
this.
43% European, Irish, and English.
See, so now you have to go for McGregor.
Well, you should maybe go for the other one.
Oh, we'll get to
Yeah,
that
get
point
to
in a minute.
What I love, it's an interview that I don't really have to do. Like, they interview themselves.
I know, right?
So, what was the most surprising thing that you found in 23andMe?
Well, so when I met my birth mother, she said I was Swedish, English, Polish, and Irish. But when I did the 23andMe, I found like 24% of me was Jewish ethnicity,
Okay.
which was really mind-blowing, actually, because I had no idea. It was never told to me.
Yeah. Well, Shabbat Shalom, huh?
Oh, that's right.
You're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
she
Shalom
said, I won't be
everything.
saying, what'd you say earlier? You're like,
I was
Shalom.
like Opa
Yeah.
the whole time, but now I'm going to be like Shalom.
Yeah.
Or Salute, now I'm going to be Shalom. But it's awesome. That, it's a very wonderful tool for those who don't know their ethnicity.
I'd
It's
say it's a
amazing.
great
Yeah.
gift.
And then,
Yeah.
what's the
Well,
reveal? What's
I it's like, whoa. I didn't know my father. So I don't know which side of the family this comes on, but from what I've read in the 24 hours that I've gotten this test, is it comes from your father's side, right? A lot of this.
I think
And
yours
then-
in that case, yes.
But I believe that it says something that says the letter H. It traced my history back to sub-Saharan Africa, where I'm, 2%? African. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
But you could be like South African.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
Sub-Saharan.
You could be
Sub-Saharan?
not Black African, but South African.
But it went all the way back down into the mother,
So you're
like
Black
the
African.
mothership.
the mothership.
So
from
you're
18,000
literally
years ago.
like from Wakanda with Black
I-
Panther situation.
I don't know.
Well, then,
I wouldn't go there.
Does this
But
listen,
I definitely want
does
to
this
call
mean
out.
anything to you?
He's over
You feeling that? Are you feeling that?
there. But my point is, with all these, like, the white supremacists and everyone that are all over Facebook right now,
Yes.
who would have thought that Tiffany had any black ethnicity in me? Like,
Well, that is fascinating.
I mean, it really is.
It really is.
It really is. You didn't have it. My husband didn't have it. I'm 1% more than what my mother was. So it's really, really interesting to do this. And
But it's a gift. I mean, so much more for you to explore.
Does
And-
that mean that someone in your family was Black,
Yes.
or someone in your family? I hate to say mated, but let's say
no.
let's
The way
say
that mine was
smashed
traced,
with someone Black.
which is
Like
it's a huge possibility,
Smashed.
especially since my family is part from the South. But the way that the genealogy has come out and with this DNA research, it found me all the way in Africa, not in Alabama.
Right.
Right, because I told her, I go, oh, maybe it's because
It's a
your
drastic
family's from the
difference.
So it's
South.
not like-
But it goes generations before that to another time,
Yeah.
another place. Yeah.
So a girlfriend of mine founded Heavenor. Said you were at her event, you know, this past
What's
week.
Heavenor?
Heavenor is my girlfriend from Belize. And her mother had hers done, and she's from Belize, Honduras. And when they had theirs done, they found something completely different than being from Belize.
Right.
And she found it very interesting. 7 generations later, you can actually wipe out a nationality.
Wow.
Something to think about.
Very interesting. If we have only a second left, what advice do we want to give women about the mammography?
Well, I'd say definitely get this test done, because I think that
Every year.
every year.
Every year. And do your self-exams.
And if you got a good man, every second. Why not?
Oh, he should do the
Yeah.
exams. If you have a good man, he should be doing that.
I mean, I'm down.
Right?
All I'm saying is I'm down, homie.
You know, it's been more common that we're seeing that it's in the families, and I think if our families aren't pushing us to do so, if we don't know our family, like I didn't know my father, she didn't know, you know, her parents, it should be a friend's responsibility, if you care about each other, to get in. And if you're not comfortable going by yourself and doing whatever,
Take a
if you're too
friend.
busy, make an event out of it, especially with the meetups and the different things that we have today. I love the idea that Alma Tequila had to Uber over to some local taco bar on a Tuesday and have one of those vans pull
Yeah.
up.
It's a great
it's
idea.
You know,
idea.
they
Yeah.
It's
do
a
it
great
in the van and have margaritas and mammography.
And you know,
Mammography.
for a lot of people who don't even have insurance, that could be
It's
a great
$120
opportunity
without
for them
insurance.
to just have that done and be safe. You know,
At least to know.
I sense an event is coming
you
on.
cannot be
I
too
can hear it.
cautious for
I can
cancer.
You
hear
do
an
it, we'll
event
support
being
you.
planned.
Yeah.
I was going to support you. when
I was
you
going
did
to
it.
support you. You
No,
do
I
it,
was-
we
I was
support
gonna
you.
pass out the flyers if you printed them. So how do we contact you, ladies? How do we reach you on the www?
Oh, honey, this is all you. Heavenor. Shout out to Heavenor. You know,
TiffanyMasters.com.
no, actually, I think the best way to probably do this is let's do something in October. It's around my birthday.
Yes.
I do own Las Vegas Bucket List. We were never promised tomorrow. I'm currently doing a documentary writing, Leaving Imprints,
Nice.
to keep on living. I'd love to meet some of these cancer survivors
Yes.
that just don't feel like getting out and doing much after whatever they've endured, and gift them some gifts and have them host this with us and teach to keep on living, man. It's one thing to, hey, let's jump off the stratosphere or go on these elaborate trips, just to get up and make some new girlfriends and feel like living again, no matter what you're going through, whether it be cancer or breakup, struggles in career, or just, you know, midlife crisis of going over 40.
And that is what's up. It's been the Ace Michael Show. I want to bring something up before we completely take off on the show today. There's a lot that we know about a lot as humans and as a society, but it's really amazing how little we know about our own bodies. So I know we've been doing shenanigans and whatnot, but the serious undertone is we should really try to check into our health and try to make sure that we're on top of staying as healthy as possible. And you know what I say at the end of every show, and I mean it: live the life you love the life you live. Thank you.
Yay, that was
I
fun.
love you.
Thank you.